Okay, my name is Nikki Watson. My business is Future Successors. My main role is the owner, founder, and executive director.
Okay, can you tell us what Future Successors is?
Yes, Future Successors is a nonprofit organization. We help kids that have an interest in business and help them to learn about business and also in the entrepreneurship world. And the kids are middle school and high school.
Okay. How long have you been an entrepreneur?
Woo! Since I came out the womb, right?
Haven't we all? Haven't we
Yeah.
all?
Selling water, selling popsicles, what? You know what I'm saying? Selling stuff for the school.
Right.
Hey, always been an entrepreneur, but
I know
I've been
the
a full
hustle.
time.
I used to pay my brother to wash the dishes for me.
Yeah. So you was a CEO, huh?
I've been a boss, right? I've been a boss since I was little.
Yes, I remember my brother. I had he used to pay me $20 to clean up his room all the time. I was like, yeah, I clean up his room, but won't clean up mine.
Right. You get it paid, right?
Yeah. But I've been a full-time entrepreneur ever since been a year and a half now. I stepped out on faith. I left corporate America. I was working at a Fortune 500 company, making six figures, and I left there because I want to pursue my goals and dreams with future successors because I got tired of being at those corporations, going to conferences, being at the boardrooms and not seeing a lot of people that look like me. And it was disheartening because when I go see my brother that's in jail or family members in jail, we're there in numbers, right? But we're not in the boardrooms. We're not making these deals. So I said, okay, I need to get more of us there. And how can we do that? We got to start them at a young age. So that's where I've been doing. So that's what I'm doing right now.
So would you say that's what motivated you?
Yes, motivated me is just your environment, what you grew up in and where you at now, and you see that disconnect and you like, how can I get the people that I was with, my homies, like what Snoop Dogg used to say, it ain't no fun, my homies can't have none. So how can I
Right.
get us there? So, I go by a quote from Booker T. Washington. He says it's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men.
Yeah. I definitely believe in that quote. And men and women, just broken adults in
Yeah.
general, like because we get so caught up in our comfortability and we stuck in our ways when we become an adult. But children are so open and expansive and they're ready to learn. And it's so much harder to teach an adult something than it is a child. So yeah, I agree with that. That's
What
why
they say, the old people say you can't teach a fool new tricks or something like that. The old people
you can't
say.
teach old dog new tricks.
There you go.
So being in the nonprofit sector, what has been the most difficult part of the process? I know for me, having a nonprofit, it was our first year, like our pilot year, was extremely difficult. So I want to hear your experience and like what kept you going, because so many people like, oh, I want to start a nonprofit or a not-for-profit, and it doesn't last. So I want to know what was the hurdle that you had to get over?
Okay, the hurdle is just support, knowing that the people that you support probably won't support you, and you got to be okay with that. And you're like, all right, because if you just keep doing what you're doing, you bless others, blessings will come back to you. And actually that support that you want will come from strangers. Like one of my biggest donors I met on a plane and it was a bad timing. I was flying for a funeral, but I met them at the time because God put me right there beside them to talk to them. And actually it ended up being the vice president of Merrill Lynch. And every time I do an event, he always cut me a check.
Talk about a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise. And I was on American.
Wow, a blessing in disguise. That's crazy. Like I definitely have experienced that as an entrepreneur, starting multiple businesses and nonprofits. Like the people that you least expect to support you will be there with the biggest sign, the biggest t-shirt, whatever it is they have, like giving you the most money. Like those are the people that support you the most. And I don't know why people are like that. Like, why don't we support the people around us? But I think it's probably because they don't expect you to do what you're doing. And you're doing a great thing with Future Successors. Yeah. So
thank you.
People aren't expecting you. They weren't expecting you to do something like that.
Yeah, it's funny because people want to see you lose than win.
And that's crazy to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
It's
like,
crazy.
really, sis, you want me to lose? You know what?
Right.
That's what keep me going. It's like, because I'm not going to lose. It's
That's
like, I'm
motivation.
going
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
motivation. What's your favorite thing about being an entrepreneur? Like, what do you love the most about it?
uh, it's like a gift and a curse, your freedom.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm free to do whatever, but like, oh, I need some structure because I need to accomplish something, X, Y, and Z. Because if I keep willy nilly and going out here and having fun, I won't get those goals. So,
I was gonna say there
yeah,
have
I like
goals within the freedom.
gotta have goals within the freedom. I think that's a T-shirt.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Listen, we can brand it, promote it. Listen, let's do it.
All right, you got it recorded. That's good because I'll forget in like 30 minutes. Like, what did we say?
Yeah, I
Cool.
think like me also my favorite part is just the freedom to live life and the flexibility to not be under
Yeah,
someone else's beck and call. Like that's so
yeah. The
you know what?
flexibility.
What's your least favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
Um, so when you was in corporate America, you got paid. Well, everybody always hate on me when I was in corporate America because I got paid every week. Every Friday I had a paycheck. Everyone's like, "You got paid every Friday." I was like, yeah. So, um, dealing in dealing in the entrepreneurship world, sometimes you don't know when that paycheck coming. So sometimes you gotta wait a little bit longer. I used to get paid every week. Now sometimes like every month or sometimes every month, or then it could be short. It could be every other day or every day, but you don't know. It's not a consistent base like when I'm gonna get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that. It's like I want to know where my points are coming in.
For real. But that's part of being an entrepreneur. Like you gotta take the highs with the lows.
Correct.
What would you say your biggest success has been with the future successors?
Um, just the impact on the kids, just seeing them actually open their mind and talking about opportunity. We read a book which you love, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, my favorites.
Yeah,
Yes.
we read that book over the summer, and in that book, he said once you start seeing opportunities, you'll always see them. So
Mm-hmm.
now kids are opening up their minds. They're like, "Oh, Miss Nikki, I wonder what that is. I wonder what this is." They're asking me these questions that I know I didn't ask my mother or any adult at a young age. So just tapping into their minds, opening it up, let them know that they can create opportunity
Mm-hmm.
or take a great opportunity, right?
They're looking
Um,
for it. That's awesome.
yeah. So they're looking for opportunities, and we never thought about that. Like you teaching them about real estate, like, hey, how much you think that house is? They actually like, how much you think that is? Oh, we got stocks. They're like, oh, Miss Nikki, such doing good in stock. I'm like, say that again.
I didn't even check my Fidelity account today. Hold on one second.
So, like, just open up their minds to different things, letting them know that opportunities out there. So that's been the biggest reward. Of course, accolades, getting things from with the United Way. They honored me. My school honored me. South Carolina State. So things like that. That's good. But I don't live for accolades. I live for the impact.
Right, right. That's amazing. That's would you say that you have any regrets? Like becoming an
uh,
entrepreneur?
Yeah, you have regrets because you like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, faith God, da, 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 and you have a plan, but it wasn't as ironclad as you wanted to be, and you're like, what did I do wrong? What was this? Like, maybe I didn't have a good plan, but somebody said, like, hey, this is the decision you made. Let's make it the right decision. Let's get it out there. Let's do it. So,
Blessing.
not having a solid plan, had a plan, but it wasn't as solid. But plans never go as the way you plan them, right?
Never. Can you tell me about your journey of starting a nonprofit, like the process to start a nonprofit? Because I feel like there's so many people out there that are like, oh, I want to do it, but don't know how or have no idea how
Um,
to start.
with anything that you want to start out there, you want to start by having the idea and the problem to solve it.
Okay.
So basically anything, like all the business out here, everybody want to critique it and make it their own, right?
Hmm.
So So when you start a nonprofit, what's that problem out there? What problem are you trying to solve? What's that idea that you have in your head, but what is it solving? And if you're solving it, who's going to be your target market? Who you going to go out there to? You just can't open up like, hey, I'm gonna open up. People like, hey, I'm gonna be a photographer. All right, so who's gonna be your ideal client? You need to know who you trying to structure your business towards. So don't just open something to do something. Have solve that problem.
That's what I say in my book throughout the whole thing. You find a problem, you find a solution. Like in the first paragraph of the book, it's find a problem,
Oh,
solution.
send me the link. I gotta buy your book. I'm always a supporter. I don't know if I'm gonna read it right now because I got a couple books to read, but I'll get to
Put it on
it.
your list. Put it on your list. What are your essential tools for success? Like, what do you use every day, or you feel like it's something that you have to be successful, or you have to do, or something that you do?
Okay, pray.
That's number one.
That's number one. Ever since being in this pandemic, I always been praying, but now I set aside a time to actually go and pray in my closet because we always make an appointment for our nails, we make an appointment for our hair, but do we make an appointment with God?
Ooh,
Do we have a
good one?
so that is essential. I make sure at a certain time of the day, I was like, oh, this is when I go pray. This is when me and God actually talk. Because you always talk to God throughout the time. But I was like, no, this is my set time. Don't come at me. Don't do nothing. I got to go talk to the Lord. So I do that. That's one essential thing. And also structure. You got to have a little structure. So I have a daily planner. Make sure I cross out everything on that. Mm-hmm. And also something essential is relationships. You got to build relationships. Make sure I keep establishing relationships. So before the pandemic, every time I fly, I always made it a goal for me to meet one person on that flight. If it's going or coming, meet one person in my travels.
That's a good goal. Like that's, maybe I need to put
that last time I had it was a, yeah. So I mean, because that's only going to just build your platform. Tell people about it because I met somebody from, UPS. I met somebody from UPS. Now UPS donates to me because I met him. Or just anybody. Like I remember I meeting this one guy. He just got me through the flight because it was a bumpy flight. I was like, oh, I don't like this flight. He's like, hope you alright. His name is Steve. So I mean, I meet people. I make that a goal of mine.
How do you, marketing is such a huge part of business. How do you market your nonprofit? Like, I know word of mouth, you tell people about it because it's such an impactful program, but outside of that, how do you market?
I pay for it. I pay for it if it's by Facebook ads, if it's a marketing company when I have an event coming up, I just pay for it. I mean, you gotta pay for marketing, you gotta play the
budget for marketing.
Yeah. So I pay for it, word of mouth, but you gotta get slick with it. You just gotta build those relationships. I keep going back to relationships because relationships got me so far in life. So just I pay for marketing, build those relationships, tell people to push it through their network. I have a newsletter. I always set a goal, make sure I put it out once a month. So that's another marketing tool, and just get the word out.
Okay.
Pay for it or free.
Being a mentor, do you have a mentor or a business coach?
So I have a mentor, but I don't talk to them on a regular basis. I don't check in with them, have accountability. I just sit down, talk to them, pick their brains. They give me direction to go in, and I try to go in it. And I do have a business coach. So once I'm going in a direction, I go to my business coach like, hey, is this a good direction I'm going in? Let me know. Let me know if I'm making the right decision. So yes, I have two of them. Mentor, I don't check in on a daily or often, but at times we do check in.
But you have that person that you can go to.
Yeah, actually, you'll be surprised because the mentor, she is actually older white lady, but she's in the nonprofit realm, and she built her nonprofit from the bottom up. So I check in with her, and then I have a business coach just to make sure my checks and balances are good.
I mean, whatever works. If whoever can help you, whoever can set you in the right direction and say, hey, this is where you need to be going, learn from my mistakes. This is where I messed up. This is what I think you should be doing. And then, the proof is in the pudding. What they've already accomplished and already have done, you're like, okay, I want to follow that road, but I don't want to take the hard road to get there. So it doesn't matter who they are. If they can help you, they can help you. At least that's how I feel about it.
Yep. Do you have a mentor?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
okay, awesome.
But like you said, I don't talk to them often. But when I do need some motivation, some accountability, or something like, okay, well, you've done this before. How did you get through it? Because right now, I feel like as an entrepreneur, sometimes you on the brink of quitting because you like, it would just be much
every
easier
day
for me to get a job. Like, it would be much easier for me to get a job. However, I know that that's not something that would fulfill me, like any type, not just any type of job. Like I love my day job, but if I had to go sit in the office every day, I would probably be on like suicide watch. So to have a mentor who's
I
like,
get
don't
it.
quit, don't give up, like don't do it. And I use people around me that I watch, like people like you, to
You
get
watch me?
me inspired. Absolutely. You remember when I first started my nonprofit, I called you and was like, so I didn't think it was gonna be this difficult. They're taking all of my money. I can't afford this. I
You
was
can't. You cannot afford.
like, Niki, help me.
It's
And you
crazy.
gave me great advice, and watching your vision manifest over the years and like your program grow, it keeps me motivated. Like it inspires me. So like now our program has shifted from Florida. We transferred over to North Carolina. And so we're going to
Nice.
get back into it this year, but much more prepared than we were the first go round. But watching you
Hey,
succeed has definitely been inspiration.
hey, let's partner too. Let me know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, what is your advice for people just starting out, like being an entrepreneur, starting a nonprofit? Like what type of advice would you give them?
Um, just with any business, just building those hardcore, solid relationships. I told you, I'm always going to go back to relationships because they get you so far in life. And with you building those relationships, you're going to talk to people outside of your peer group. Because I always tell people, like, what your friends know? They don't know that much because y'all should be making millions by now. So that means you got to tap into another circle. You got to build those other relationships. So don't be scared to just say, hey, my name is such and such, and I have an idea. I want to do such and such, because you never know who's on the other end that said, oh, I have that same idea, or oh, I know somebody that can help you with that idea.
Have a resource for you.
So don't be scared to speak your passion, your idea, because people are saying like, oh, they'll steal it. Well, they won't. I mean, it's your idea. God gave that to you because God gave me this vision for future successors. And I'll tell you how he gave it to me, because you know how you have an idea always come and go, come and go. I want to do this, I want to do that. But future successors kept coming back to me, like months, years. I was like, that's God telling me, if you don't do this, I'm going to find somebody else to do this.
Right. And I'm going to take this vision away from you.
Yeah. So don't get scared. Speak about your ideas, put it out there. Yes, you got to protect it in some manner, some form, but don't be scared, because if somebody take an event, like say if you want to do an event and they take it from you, they ain't going to be the first person to do an event. They just want to have your flavor, what you want to do. And plus, once they do it and they mess up, you saw what they did wrong. You're like,
exactly.
Got it. I know what I can do now. So don't be scared to speak your ideas, speak your truth, your passion out there. And build those relationships.
Building relationships. I've already written that down in my notebook. Relationships. Do you have any books or podcasts or any recommendations for people, for entrepreneurs and people starting out, that they should check out?
Of course, our book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Can't get but a podcast I'm currently listening to because it sticks out right now. It's called Bigger Pockets, and it's about real estate. And real estate is so key because everybody needs a place to live, so why not provide it for them? Somebody told me that. It's somebody that wasn't my friend that told me that. It actually, I dipped into the real estate market too because, like we say, starting out at a nonprofit. So before I left my 9 to 5, I made sure I had rental property out there, so just to bring in some revenue. No, it's not bringing in that money that I used to make, but it's paying my utilities.
Stream of income.
Yeah. So Bigger Pockets is a great one. It's an easy listen. They drop a lot of books in there that you should read. And actually, I connected with one of the guest hosts that was on Bigger Pockets, and he's going to talk to my kids. So look at that. I just talked about an idea, put it out there.
Right. Cultivating relationships. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of my entrepreneur talks and doing this interview with me.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I told you, you're somebody that inspires me. I watch you be like, dang, Niki.
You know what? That right there is going to make me go harder today.
Like, look at these kids. They are enjoying it. Like, I hope my students are enjoying my program as much as hers are. Like, I'm about to steal some of her ideas. I need to call her and be like, so we can collaborate. Like, you're definitely somebody that I watch out for.